Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week, we're discussing if wider tyres are indeed faster, or if it's all one big hoax and you've been lied to and narrower tyres, like what they used to ride back in the day, are actually still the fastest.
Plus, in hot tech, we've got gravel group sets making their way onto road bikes. We've got new tyre pressure sensors spotted. I've seen an absolutely mental dual chain, dual cassette bike, and you can now get Tadej Pogačar's shoes in a kids version. Plus, of course, well, we've got comments of the week and the bike vault.
Oh, and you may have noticed we're not in our usual surroundings. That's because the tech show's on tour this week. We're in Spain.
Okay, right, main talking point this week. We're going to go full nerd chat now that you're back from your little holiday in northern France, and we're going to discuss the subject of tyre width. Are wide, chunky boys actually faster, or are skinny boys from the years gone past, like 26mm tyres, faster, even though we're being led to believe wide tyres are faster?
Yeah, and this is also interesting because right now, I mean, whenever we go and look at the pro bikes at races, they're all on at least 28s.
At least.
And we're seeing wider and wider and wider, right? But I think the first thing we need to clear up is, what do we mean by faster?
Yeah, like faster for who, faster in what conditions, faster over what surfaces. There's lots of different things that we need to clear up. And
yeah, plus faster's not always better, because some people want more comfort.
Longevity, puncture resistance, there's lots of different characteristics to discuss. Now, I feel like this is an area that applies to all different upgrades, not specifically tyres, and we could all actually benefit from just taking a minute to figure out what is actually better for us, rather than just assuming because a brand or a pro says it's amazing, it actually works out great.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, like, there isn't a totally simple answer to this, because the fastest tyre is not always the fastest tyre.
Yeah, okay.
Put simply.
So any clarity on the situation?
Yes, because it's going to depend on a host of factors. So you're looking at the surface type that you're riding on.
Yeah.
So narrower is going to be faster on smoother surfaces. If you're on a rougher surface, wider becomes better at absorbing those bumps.
Yeah.
You're also looking at the type of riding that you're doing. You know, if you're going to be riding time trials and it's basically in a straight line.
Yeah.
Grip's less of a factor.
Yeah.
So if you're
anything, it's a downfall if you're going a straight line.
So if you're going, if you're riding at lower speeds, or if you're riding where grip is a factor, like in a criterium, wider might be a consideration. You know, or the weather conditions as well, slippier conditions, wet conditions. You might want to go wider again for that grip, and also just the weight of the system. So the weight of you and your bike combined, the more you weigh, wider again.
Yeah, I mean, also tyre pressure comes into the equation as well, and I think lots of people are quick to overlook the fact that there's so many different aspects to consider, and like you said, right, like at the start, is like there is no one single fastest tyre setup, because what's fast on smooth roads is not going to be fast on rough roads, and what's fast on rough roads is not going to be the fastest on smooth roads.
And the other thing to consider as well, although we're assuming perfect optimal setups or whatever, is the equipment that people have. Like they might not accommodate beyond a certain width, and the wheels might not be designed for a certain width. So there's that as well, factor in as well.
Now, the reason I kind of wanted to discuss this is because tyres is a subject I've quite literally been losing sleep over at the moment. The reason for that, you laugh, I am, it's playing on my mind. Don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm racing Unbound later on this year. And I'm really trying to decide on what tyres I want to use.
Yeah, you've literally never said that. Where's that come from?
Right, I'm racing Unbound. Okay, everyone should know that by now. Made a video about it last week over on GCN. I'm going to say vast majority of people said there's no way I could finish in the top 20, but whatever. I'll try and prove everyone wrong.
I believe in you.
Right, anyway, so Unbound is quite unique in the fact that you need to have the fattest, like, most robust, reliable tyres that also somehow are fast. And this proves to be like a really challenging, like, pieces to fit together in one, like, piece of the puzzle to find one fastest tyre setup overall. Now, the uber bike nerd and my new best mate, Dylan Johnson, has actually done loads of research about this, and I was discussing it with him last week. And interestingly, he found that there are some mountain bike tyres that are potentially more aero and more efficient than some gravel bike tyres. So what I'm trying to get at here is you've got to sometimes look like out of the box of what you would assume is
it can be counterintuitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also like proper nerdy. I find it all like super interesting. I think the other thing is that when I was on my holiday in northern France, one of the people that I spent some time with and was talking to, and actually made a video chatting to this person, which I think will be super interesting, so hopefully people like it, was JP Ballard from Swiss Side. So for those who are unfamiliar, he's a former Formula One engineer who now runs Swiss Side, which is a company that makes wheels and equipment, and is also like a performance consultancy. They help design bikes and equipment, but also help riders and teams get faster. Helped multiple Iron man triathletes become world champion, and helps the Decathlon Agile Desert Le Mondial team as well, and is in part helped them turn around their performances. So he's got a pretty credible track record.
Seems credible to me.
Yeah, pretty good CV. But he was saying this as a big thing, that he feels that there's a lot of people have misunderstood the thing about 28 tyres.
Okay.
Like a lot of people now run 28s. Like we see all the pros run 28s.
Well, it's become the new 25, and then that replaced the 23.
And everyone thinks 28s are faster.
Yeah.
And he's like, they can be, but they're not more aerodynamic. He's like, like without a doubt, like the narrower tyre, like the 25, the 26mm tyre is more aerodynamic, and therefore at higher speeds, that is faster if you're on a decent road surface. Well,
that makes total sense, right? Not that I'm in any way trying to say my thoughts and findings and testing like supersedes what JP Ballard is saying, but I did do some aero testing of my own the other week. and I looked at it from the other scale of not the problem, but the other aspects. I looked at 28mm going upwards because I was thinking, right, if the trend of like bike tyres is to get wider and wider, what is the aerodynamic penalty of using these wider tyres? And surprise, surprise, let's just say wide tyres and aerodynamics are never ever going to be friends. Now, I'm making a separate video all about this, so if you want to see all of the results, which did surprise me, subscribe to GCN Tech because I'm going to have a video out. But as I said, and a complete agreement, wider tyres are not great for aero, but one of the reasons it shocked me was because the differences were smaller than I anticipated, but they were still differences.
Yeah. So, and these differences, you might think, oh, a 1 watt, who cares?
Yeah.
Thing is, right, like, at...
Well, racing speeds, you do care.
Well, I mean, another performance consultancy, Aero Coach, who've done a lot of work on rolling resistance, they've analysed these things, and they've worked out that 0.6 of a watt at 55k an hour.
Yeah.
So if this is more representative of like track cycling, but just 0.6 of a watt at 55k an hour is 25 metres.
Which is a tenth of a lap of a velodrome. That's significant. That's like massive.
But I mean, even like in amateur races, they're sprinting at that speed.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing, but the point is like even if you're averaging modest speeds, if you're just saving 1 or 2 watts, that 1 or 2 watts actually over the course of a Gran Fondo, that adds up massive. So the interesting thing was, and this is something that JP was looking at years and years ago, right?
Yeah.
But as a sort of way in which he broke it down was that he said if you're going to try and work out the speed that you're going to do for your target ride or event, and if you're going to be averaging less than like 32k an hour, which is 20 miles an hour, you're probably going to be best off on 28s.
Okay.
For sort of average road surface conditions. If it was really rough, you'd probably want to go maybe even more. But then if you're faster than that, 25s or 26s.
Really?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
and if you're doing a time trial and you're averaging over 40 kilometres an hour or 25 miles an hour, you definitely want to be on the narrower tyre.
That's solving the equation of like prioritising for speed, though, of course. But I think if you're not racing, obviously speed isn't your main priority. And if you're riding slow, aero isn't your main priority. And if you're not racing, but you still do care about speed, well, then you need to try and find like the middle ground, because like there's a million different tyre brands, options and sizes out there. So you got to look at the extremes of each end of the scale and then kind of adjust that slider to what suits your priorities, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so if you look at the Aero Coach tyre testing data, because Aero Coach done loads of like independent testing of tyres.
Yeah.
And the absolute fastest tyre that has come out on their testing is, so far, is the Veloflex record, 25mm, is faster than 23.
Yeah.
In a clincher. Okay. And like, but the thing is, that tyre is made of like licorice. Like, it is super fast.
Well, it's
like,
really tasty.
Yeah, but like, zero puncture protection in that.
Yeah.
You know? But, so again, it's that thing of, you know, you wouldn't start a Gran Fondo using that tyre. Absolutely not.
Well, you might start, you just probably wouldn't finish.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know, it's a very specialist application tyre. But the reason why I sort of mentioned that as well is that again the 25 comes out better than the 23.
Yeah. Okay.
So going lower to like the tyres they were using in like the 90s and the 2000s and stuff, 19 mils, 20 mils, 22 mils. It does feel, and having spoken to JP, he's in agreement with this as well, that the sweet spot is still that sort of 25.
It's lower than everyone probably thinks.
Yeah.
What I do want to, I'm in complete agreement with you, and I think people should be more aware of this if they want to focus on speed. But let's face it, not all of us want to focus on speed. So therefore, like, wider tyres can serve a great purpose, but not necessarily when you're going, I want to go really fast. You might just go, do you know what? I just want to be really comfortable. I want to enjoy my bike ride at the weekends. And do you know what? That's great for me, I guess. That's kind of where I'm thinking with this.
But there still are situations, though, and this is the thing why it's so complicated and nuanced and why we're like, it depends.
Yeah.
There still are situations where, like, say, if you were doing a lot of descending, where even like a 30mm tyre could be quicker if your race was a descending race.
Well, and rough, and we've got the classics coming up.
You're sacrificing aero a little bit on the tyre, but it's still not loads. But you're gaining a lot of confidence and grip.
Yeah.
So, you know.
This is the thing, it's an ever-changing equation, and I don't think there will ever be a situation where someone can go, this is the best tyre in all of the situations. This is physically impossible.
But what you can try and do is work out what's the best. We can arm you with the information, and then you can work out what is the best for your specific needs. Yeah,
I think that's great. I think we've kind of explained, like, pretty clearly that people just need to take more of a, like, wider view of it rather than just being led by someone saying, this is the fastest, because it's probably not fastest for you.
Yeah.
Okay, right, with that discussion in mind, what tyres are you currently running on your bike?
Do you know what? So we've come to Spain, right? And I've got, I don't need these on, and for pure performance, they're not optimum.
The precursor already.
So I've got the Pirelli RS, but in 30mm.
Oh, they're slowing you right down.
Yeah, they are.
No, I'm joking.
For these roads around here, probably 26 would be ideal.
Yeah, smooth tarmac.
Yeah.
Dry.
But
not bumpy.
I've got the 36. I've got the 30s on.
Yeah.
Because descending.
Gonna be nice.
Dreams.
Dreamy, yeah. I've actually got. Well, not that you've asked me.
And it's just comfortable.
I'll tell everyone anyway. You haven't asked me.
No, I don't care. Well, I'm to hot tech now.
No, I'm running 28mm P0 races. Okay, it's now time for Hot and Spicy Tech, and we are going to kick this week off with
by the way, did the bit go in the show last week about the stickers that I shot? Did not make it in?
No, I don't think it did. Do you know what? We'll kick it off this week with the section that Ollie filmed last week about some really cool stickers that somebody sent in. We'll just add it in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some letters that we've received. So we've got mail. First one is from Bruce Masterson. So I wanted to get this in this week's show. He works from a bike shop called Stedman's Bike Shop, and they have their stickers that they've sent for my laptop that commemorate Mr. Everett Stedman, who sadly passed in 2016, but he was the founder of their bike shop. How cool is that? Right, but that's not all. Also, the call for stickers went out, and you guys answered, which is mega. I believe there's some more on the way, but there's one here from Jeff Sangster, who is in Canada. This has come all the way from Canada. How cool is that? And he makes some stickers, and he sent one which is really funny, but I can't show you that because it's quite rude. But also, and one of our previous sponsors wouldn't approve. But there's some other really cool ones here, which are really cool. So I'm definitely going to stick some of these on the laptop. Love that. It's like Tide, Ride, rate that. And we've got one here, which is from Craig Spellerberg, who's from Fort Collins, Colorado. Again, awesome stamp and postmark on that. I love it. This is so cool, getting mail from like all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. Amazing. So he has sent a letter here saying he's got... Oh, hang on. So he sent me a couple of stickers here. One is from Foco Burrows, which is, he says, an open and inclusive semi-organised cycling club out in Fort Collins, Colorado. Nice. They have the motto, slow, stubborn, we'll get there, like that. And also a Bicycle Colorado sticker, which is a non-profit advocacy organisation championing the interests of all bicycle riders in the state of Colorado. Great. Thanks so much for these, Craig. That is awesome. Right, I'm going to have to, fill up the laptop a bit more. Love you. Bye.
Now I've cleared that up, actually, we should talk about gravel group sets being used on road bikes. And these are spotted being used in the classics at Omloop Pet Newsblad on Saturday last week. Lidl Trek, I think they might be the only team that rolled this setup out, although someone will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong and there was another team. SRAM Explorer, rear derailleurs and cassettes paired up with 1x chain rings, which for classics, it makes perfect sense because
cool, isn't it?
You aren't going up any alpine climbs and you don't need that huge range, although you have got big range. The cassettes are 10 to 46 tooth.
Yeah.
Which is it's pretty big boy, isn't it, that? Paired up with 1x chain rings. The great thing is you do get the UDH is like super robust and reliable, so it's going to be great for rattling around over the cobbles. It's got a far better and superior chain retention system, again, for good over the cobbles and the rough stuff. And I just think it's really neat to see teams utilising tech that's available outside of the realms of just normal road equipment.
Yeah.
And they had chunky tyres on as well, but, we've just discussed that to great lengths.
Yeah, well, more tyre chat. The viewers are going to be delighted.
Yeah.
Pidcock had a new tyre whizz on his tyres for the classics for opening weekend.
Well, I'm assuming it's an updated tyre whizz, isn't it? Actually, no.
Well, do you know what? Like, I've not seen that before. And the cool thing is it was like, it's sort of like integrated into the rim.
Yeah.
Which is pretty trick. Like, it's very neat. Rather than the like...
Chunky. Yeah, it was a chunky
sort
boy.
Of dongle that hangs off the valve that was before.
The like anti-aero thing.
Yeah, and like Size made videos on it, we've shown it before. No, this one's a much neater, smaller looking thing. Really quite trick. But the nice thing about that as well is, we've investigated this and we've seen how like getting your tyre pressure absolutely spot on makes like a significant improvement in rolling resistance. And especially on the cobbles, it makes it's night and day. If you get that right versus if you get that wrong, that's the difference between winning and losing a race.
Well, we've highlighted it before. Tyre pressure is arguably more important than tyre type and construction.
It's nuts, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's cool to see Pidcock using that. So
these appear to be, because it's incorporated into the wheel rim, that it would appear to be a new wheel because the logo is all taped over. So presumably, if you
got dimples.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about it, subscribe to GCN Tech and we'll tell you when there's more information to be said. Next time in Hot Tech, we're going to deviate away from road and talk about mountain bikes, which I feel a bit weird saying.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you.
Okay, so Nukeproof, which is a well-known mountain bike brand, have been sold and bought by the Belgium Cycling Factory, which is a company that owns brands like Ridley and Eddy Merckx. They're road brands, you feel safe talking about those. Now, I think it's great to see another brand saved rather than just sort of vanish off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And I wonder, so I think Nukeproof were an in-house brand for, I want to say maybe chain reaction cycles. So maybe it might lead to like other brands from that, like Vitus or Vitus being purchased as well and being saved from going to just vanishing, basically. Pretty cool nonetheless.
Well, good, yeah. In sort of the industry in crisis, good to see some.
Yeah, it is good to see
happening.
I feel like I need to explain to you what is coming up next.
I mean, you sent it to me as well.
Oh, okay, you've seen it, right. Next up, I think we all need to just have a look at the picture first and take a moment, just maybe 20 seconds, to look at it and wonder what the hell's going on. So,
Canning's found this.
Canning's found this, sent it to us both, and let me try and explain this here. So you've got a normal chain set going upwards to a cassette which is mounted on the seat tube with an additional rear derailleur, and then the seat tube cassette is then going down to a normal cassette on the back wheel. So we've got a dual cassette, dual chain, 3 mech option. And I've been looking at this for quite a while, and I cannot for the life of me figure out if it's going to be great for speed or really low speed. Like high speed or low speed. I can't figure it out. Can you?
No.
Someone let us know in the comments whether this is good for high or low speeds. But nonetheless, it was a weird and wacky thing I wanted to share with everybody.
Well, I just can't work out what's going off the back of the bike as well. There's like some sort of like scaffolding construction happening.
Yeah.
Well, a lot going on there.
If you know about this bike, share it with us because it'd be interesting to find out.
Right, Poggy kids' shoes.
Right,
what do you make of these?
I'm not sure how I feel about this, but they're pretty cool nonetheless. Okay, so these are from DMT, and the model of shoe is the KR4, the junior version. And then if you look on the inside of the heel, we've got this like really cool, like the Poggy superhero character.
I feel you're allowed to laugh at Tadej Pogačar because he is the best.
I'm not laughing at him. I just
no, but I am because
you are?
every time I can't get this out. I can't. Right, every time I see a Tadej Pogačar branded thing, and it says TP on it, I just my brain goes to Beavis and Butthead Do America, and I just start thinking TP is toilet paper. And like, it's just all I can think of. Like,
I never ever thought about that, but now you've said it, that's all we're going to be able to think of.
There you go.
Okay, well...
that's all I can think of.
Brilliant. The junior shoes are white with the cartoon logo on the back, £119, and they come in a size 35 to a 39. So, great for kids or people with small feet.
Yep.
There you go.
Or Cornholio. You won't get that because you've not seen the film, but don't worry about it.
Mike found it great. Mike laughed for me.
Mike filming it found it funny. Yes.
Good. Yeah. Right. Well, I've lost the train of thought in hot tech. That's actually the last bit. That's the last little bit of hot tech. But as always, every week we are giving a little preview to Zwift Academy. This week is episode 4. I'm super excited about episode 4, mostly because I've not yet seen episode 3. I've got to catch up on that.
It was good.
Chloe's birthday last weekend.
It was good. I was watching it while I was packing up my bike to bring here.
Oh, you're a step ahead of me. Yeah. All right, I'll look forward to that. Here's the trailer to get your Zwift Academy juices flowing.
Next time on Zwift Academy, the finalists tackled the last challenge to show the coaches they have what it takes to survive the brutal world of pro cycling.
That was terrible.
Yeah. Come on! Last minute push, come on!
The pro contracts are on the line.
I have never experienced something like this before.
I honestly hope that it could have been like more decided by this point.
And 2 finalists will go home as pro cyclists.
And the rider that will be turning professional is...
Okay, it's now time for comments of the week. And these are the comments you've been leaving underneath the videos from last week, and we pick out the best ones. Last week's show, we were talking about miniature little cranks, Connor and I.
Yeah.
This was actually your main talking point last week, so thanks for that, mate. I appreciate it.
That's right.
Good suggestion. First up, yoga triathlete. My 6-year-old daughter is riding 120mm cranks, so she has got 1 up on Jonas Vingegaard.
Well, 3 up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, ITU42 says, don't forget that the cranks should be proportional to the leg length. If we scale Jonas's 150 cranks by the difference of height between Jonas and Connor, we get 175 millimetres. So Connor has been riding the extremely short crank for all of his life.
Fine. All right.
Yeah.
Fair dues.
I like that.
I mean, I hadn't overlooked the fact that crank length was, generally speaking, linked to your leg length, but yeah, good to confirm that. Bike museum video next. Michael Fisher, 9760 says, you know you're starting to get older when you look at an item from your past and say, they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah.
So I said, apparently I'm getting old then.
I mean, that makes me feel really old as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of the youngest here.
Yeah. Reinhold Achleitner says, 104-tooth chainring was my favourite. Thanks for another episode from the Bike Museum.
Love that.
That chainring was massive. It was even bigger than the monster 74-tooth, whatever it was that we bought.
Yeah. Well, you know it's a big chainring when the chainring teeth extend outside the realms where the pedal is.
Yeah.
Also, we had another video out the weekend. It was your sort of like 5 bike modifications that you make to sort of speed it up and you do that. So Stacey Odell says, this cracks me up. I like to see the disparity between the GCN presenters. Ollie will balance his wheels and perform other nerdy bits of optimization. Cy doesn't even bother washing his bike. Alex just slaps a new set of Durace cranks on every couple of 100 kilometres. And Dan says, what bike?
And Stacey missed off Connor.
Yeah.
Who, like, Connor is...
I'm waiting to hear what you're going to say.
Connor, right. Firstly, bike's not big enough, get a bigger one. Then slap on a load of... magnetise the bike.
Crash into a bike shop.
Drive through a bike shop.
Get all accessories to stick to it.
Just stick everything to it. Just festoon everything you can possibly stick to a bike. Stick it to his bike.
Twice.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor, we love you. That's really mean.
Well, no, but that's what he does to his bikes.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Right. Randablade L2817.
Yeah.
I am seriously sceptical if wheel balancing will significantly impact the lifespan of your wheel bearings compared to the other stresses and imperfections of the road surface. The unbalanced wheels are insignificant. I have never balanced my wheels and ride hubs that are 50 years old with no discernible problems.
Do you know what? Like, I don't know for sure. It's just based on, like, theory, but it is something that we're looking to test out.
Yeah.
I've been chatting to a number of sort of experts about it, and they all agree that it's, like, definitely worth something that's kind of worth further investigation.
The first thing that crosses my mind is not going to be worse, so why not? Like, yeah. Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up. It's now time for the Bike Vault. This is the part of the show where you can upload pictures of your bikes. Clicking on the link in the description down below will take you to the uploader, and then Ollie and I will judge them to be either nice or super nice. If they're super nice, the bell gets rung, but because this is the tech show on tour, our good pal Isaac is going to hook us up with a bell sound effect when we do a fist bump.
There better be some good ones this week.
Yeah, I picked out some bangers, I think. First up is from Mr. Dog.
Is that your real name?
Questionable.
Right.
It's a Ribble Endurance SLR 105.
Yeah. In the Vaude Alps.
Nice.
Yep.
Sorry,
I mean,
nice.
It's a bit underexposed. Like, the sun's in the wrong place. Like, I'm sort of struggling to see the detail on the bike.
Mountain's super nice. Bike nice. Okay.
Yeah, bikes are nice.
Next.
Piggy Tay 63. He's got a Vitus next to a gate at a jaunty angle. Though he's in biggie smalls, very clean. New Pirelli tyres on there. They look smart. He's also, look at the cassette. You eat your dinner off that.
Could you?
Yeah.
I like it.
I think we go super nice on that one.
Fist bump and have a sound effect. I like that.
Yeah, go for it.
Mark E. Bren, 72, with a Rally Revino.
Banana Custom.
Wow. Do you know what? The first thing I'm getting from this is like sort of like Jumbo Visma vibes from like a couple of years back.
Or the Rally Banana team from like 15 years back.
Yeah, but this is giving me like, it still feels like current-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, a bit of a jaunty angle though.
Quite a significant jaunty angle.
Oh.
It could be so cool.
Yeah, I think it's a nice, that one.
It's just a nice, sorry.
Yeah.
Next is Brett with a Canyon Grizzle, which spends equal amounts of time on dirt and tarmac, and the generous tyre clearance means plenty of room for the biggest tyres on the road wheel set.
I like the colour coordination.
Oh, wow!
On the wheels, look at that, that's cool,
It's like a Giro d'Italia Leaders version, like GC Leader Edition. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm quite liking that.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? I like the photo as well in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Super nice, that one, I think.
Boom. Marty next with new bike and some spring sunshine. Oh, it's another Canyon Enduro Race CFSLX Di2. Apparently it was a wild upgrade from a 25-year-old aluminium road bike with
that is
8-speed Sora.
Some upgrade, that, isn't
yeah.
it?
Wow.
Wowzers.
I need to turn my brightness up. Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
the wheels aren't aligned, but it's very clean and it is in Biggie Smalls, isn't it?
Crank's the wrong way, though.
The crank, I can deal with that level of crank.
Yeah?
I can deal with that crank alignment. It's very clean. He's used a stick rather than a shadow stand, but I think that is a super nice.
I mean, I don't want to disagree on Tech Show on Tour, so all right.
Oh. Nice
Nate,
colour, that, as well.
It is a nice colour. Nate's next with a classic Rebirth. Got it from a thrift shop, $150. Shifters work, but needed some work. Also had ugly stem and saddle. Full era-specific Durace group set that got from a local bike shop. Love that. All in, less than $500. Oh, can we just super nice that immediately?
Yeah, although the photo is a little bit out of focus. I'm wondering if Mike, our cameraman, took that photo.
Oh, absolutely, shots fired. Shots fired.
No, I think that's a super nice. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Super nice.
There you go.
Good job. Okay, right, then on to the last bike for this week's Bike Vault. It's from Andy, and it's a BMC Team Machine at Alma Mater, where I used to hang out during high school, apparently.
Alma Mater.
Alma Mater. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Where is this, by the way?
Well, it's Latin, but it doesn't matter.
Oh. I just made myself look even worse.
What are we going on this one?
Right, okay.
Can't really see it.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
It's like too far away.
My brightness is turned up to the max as well, actually.
What was this photo taken on? Like a Nokia 5110?
What I'm going to throw out there is that is dangerously close to a very high concrete curb, which is ready to destroy the paintwork. Yeah. So on that
maybe it's just
alone,
a normal-sized concrete curb, but that's just like a size 30 frame.
Maybe you could ride those DMT Kids Poggy Edition shoes.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. We're going to end on a nice.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. This week's Tech Show on Tour is drawn to a close. The Bike Vault is done. Please do get involved in the comment section down below, because I'm keen to hear what kind of tyre setup everyone is still running on their bikes, and if you kind of like agree or disagree with the way that the industry is going. It'd be fun to read some of those comments out next week. Also, subscribe to GCN Tech and GCN, because while we're out here, we're going to be filming some banging content, aren't we?
Here we are.
Right.
Oh, thanks for your stickers, by the way. Keep sticking around. Love you, bye.